Hello! It's been a few weeks. I think it's been about 6 weeks and it's now 2023. So how are you doing? Did you have a great new year? I'm sorry I kind of vanished after my crazy November month, but there was just so much to do. I just didn't get time to record any videos and it's been driving me crazy. And I was all set to go and I was like, okay, December's going to be super busy. I'm just going to let that go, and January 1st, new video for the first week, here we go. And do you know what happens? First week of January, the whole house gets sick with some kind of flu. I don't know what it was. The other half was in bed with a temperature. We all had coughs, all chesty. It just seems to be going around everyone here. And so it just took us all out. And I'm still coughing, but you know, it's going and that's okay. But wow, it just seemed like an annoying start to the year, basically. So, especially when I had all the plans ready. So I just thought I'd pop on anyway and talk about what my plans are for 2023. Because the last year was a really difficult year, and I've talked to other authors and other people, and I don't mean a difficult year like a financial difficult year, but I mean just a mentally hard year. Like everyone I've spoken to, they've struggled. There just seems to be like things coming up in people's lives and making the whole year seem really hard. And it's nice that I know I'm not the only one, but that's how it's felt for me. And so with this really difficult year, I've not been able to put the books out that I've wanted to put out. I've put books behind. I've got behind on a lot of things, and I got to kind of finishing all my packing in November. Didn't hit my 30-day challenge because that was my own stupid mistake for trying to set that challenge for in November when I'm usually super busy anyway, and just putting too much expectations on myself. So yeah, I thought, get to the new year, start again, clean slate, spend some time in December to work out what I want to do, how I'm feeling about things, reflecting on things, where I want to go, because there is so much I want to do. And this is one of my problems. It's never that I don't have anything to do. I have loads I want to do and I just don't have the time, and I'm just one person. So I decided to take a look at my 2023 and how it's going to work this year. And I've actually decided to do things a little bit different this year. So usually when I start the year out, I start it with a word goal, and I'm going to do this many books, and I'm going to make this much money, going to get this many subscribers, going to, target based things. So, I usually have like 3 goals. One goal related to my writing income, one goal related to other things that I do, different income streams, those incomes goals, and then another one related to my social media, so YouTube, TikTok and all this lot. And what I've sat down and looked at is that those numbers are not anything I can do anything about. I can work really hard and I can put all the time in and all the hours in and everything, but I cannot control my income, I cannot control my subscribers, and I cannot control my other income streams. And I think in the last couple of years I've been stressing myself out with that, chasing these, so I'm going to stop. And I decided to take a real good look at my writing, and when I used to really enjoy it, and I do still really enjoy it, but it feels like hard work, and I want to take that pressure off myself. So I was having a look at how I could take that pressure off myself, and what I've realised is, and I don't know if you've ever read the book by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it's called Big Magic, and one of the things she says in it is the worst thing you can do for your creativity is demand that it pays the bills. And I kind of read that and yeah, I never took it to heart. And I've hit this point where I've realised I understand that now. I've taken my creativity, because I am a full-time working writer and this is what I do. Every year it's like you set a financial goal, and then the year after you set a higher financial goal, and then the year after you set a higher financial goal. So you're always chasing this thing, and this is what I've done to myself. And so I'm always looking at numbers, at stats, at adverts, at so many different things, and I feel like a hamster on this constant wheel that's just going round and I'm not getting anywhere. Yes, okay, my income's increasing and stuff like that, but the whole thing with writing is I love writing, it's what I do. I don't want to destroy it or kind of kill the passion within myself for my writing by putting these financial goals on it. Now, I was looking back to the early 2000s when I just used to write for fun. I participated in NaNoWriMo, I was writing all the time, I always carried a notebook with me and I was always writing and stuff like that. And I was looking back at what the difference was with that, and there was no figures. I literally was just writing, and I did have a word count goal. And so that is my plan for this year. My plan is to stick to things and have goals that I can do something about. So I'm going to have word count goals. That's it, really. Word count goals, story goals, things like that, because I love writing. So I'm going to take my goals and what I want to do back to the heart of my passion, which is writing, which is what I was going to talk to you today. So instead of having also I want to publish so many books in the year, I'm going to set that goal of I want to write so many words per day. And when I say per day, it's so many words per writing day. So I don't write every single day. I take Sundays off, and there are various days I have off because we have holidays and things like that. You know, if there's something booked, if we're going away. I also put in 3 buffer days into every month, so that for like last week when we all get poorly, I am not stressing that this should be a writing day. So it works out roughly that I have about 21 to 24 writing days per month out of every month, which is not bad. And so my goal is to write every single day that is a writing day, and then my other goal is to write 2,000 words every single day that is a writing day. Now 2,000 words isn't a high goal for me. I can usually get about 6,000. If I'm having a really good writing day, I can write 10,000. It's not a problem for me. But I also thought I'm not going to stress myself out this year, so I'm going to aim for 2,000. So I can go and write 4,000 and that's not a problem, or 6,000 or 10,000 if I want. But my goal is 2,000. And this past week, because I'm recording this and it's Friday, so I've had a full week now of writing, and my goal, so every day has been a writing day, and my goal has been 2,000 words. And my gosh, have I found it hard to stick to that 2,000 words. You know, I can see myself in the office at 8 o'clock at night still writing because I get so into it, which is a good thing because I love the writing. But also I need to give myself that cut off, because this is one of the things I wasn't doing last year. I wasn't giving myself any downtime, any break time, any evening time. I was literally working till I went to bed, which is not a good healthy place to be. So this is why I'm working on trying to stick to these 2,000 words. And I've worked it out that over the quarter it should give me about 180,000 words for the quarter, which is great because that's pretty much 2 books. That's 2 books a quarter, which makes 8 books a year. And so that's not bad at all. And so I have to remind myself that I am taking small steps every day to get to the bigger place. And the bigger place is to write my books and to get my books published. So I have to be strict with myself. So yes, that's how I'm planning this year, is to write minimum of 2,000 words per writing day, every writing day, and to show up and write every day. And I also want to challenge myself, because I love challenges. I love writing challenges. So I post about this on my TikTok, and it's the challenge of writing a short story every month. And if you've ever read Ray Bradbury's book, Zen in the Art of Writing, if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's a bunch of essays by him. He's fun. Even if you don't read his fiction books, he is was a fantastic writer, and his essays are really good. And he just talks about being addicted to writing, to reading, and all that stuff. But he had this idea that if you wrote a short story every week for 52 weeks, or for a whole year, it would be impossible to write 52 terrible stories, because as writers we often think our stories are terrible. So it's kind of like a writing practice. Now he has this thing of submit them to places every week, and that might not be your gig. It's not mine. I'm not into submitting my short stories to places. However, I do love writing, and I have these short stories and they can be put in anthologies and things like that, so that's fine. But I just wanted to challenge myself not to write a short story every week, because that is just putting too much on my plate, but writing a short story a month. So when I say short story, for me, that is about 8,000 words. And so this is what I put on my TikTok, was to challenge anyone that wants to join me. And I'll leave a link below. I have a page for January's prompts. So basically there's 2 prompts on there, and you don't have to use them. You can just write your own short story. And I have made a Facebook group. There's not really much in it at the moment because it is just brand new. But if you'd come and join me, that'd be fantastic. And it's not just for the writing the short stories, it's for writing in general. But I just thought, if write a short story every month, and you can submit it if you want to, or it can just be writing practice, or you can share it with your fans. It can be bonus material, it can be reader magnets. If you have a Patreon, it could go on your Patreon. There's so many uses for these short stories. And I know somebody had asked me on my TikTok, how long is a short story? And that's the how long is a piece of string question. At the end of the day, it's a short story a month. So if your short story a month is going to be 1,000 words, then let your short story a month be 1,000 words. If one month it's 1,000 words and the next month it's 8,000 words, then that's also fine. I like to stick to the 8,000 words because it gives me a good goal. And my problem is I write too much rather than too little. So if I have the 8,000 target I might write about 10,000. I'm not going to over. But yeah, so this is one of my things, is that I'm going to write a short story a month, and then I have this story to share and do things with. So if you want to join me, I'll leave all the links down below, and I really look forward to seeing you do that with me. The other goal of mine is relating to my social media, so my YouTube, my TikTok, and this lot. So instead of saying that by the end of the quarter I want to have 5,000 TikTok subscribers and 1,000 YouTube subscribers, I'm not going to do that to myself, because it makes you stressed. I don't know if you're on any of these platforms, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube or whatever. If you put it that you, or I know it works for me anyway, so if I put that I want to hit this many subscribers, and then I put a video out or a TikTok out and it doesn't get very many views, or the subscriber count doesn't really go up, then I start stressing and start thinking, well, maybe it wasn't good enough, and then I look for something else to do and it wasn't good enough to put in one, people didn't like it, blah blah blah. Now, I used to run a gaming website, gosh, 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago actually, probably like 2005, gosh, it's nearly 20 years ago, because how fast time goes. So I used to run this gaming website and I loved it. For about a year, I was literally talking to myself. And it wasn't a problem, because I was just having fun. There was none of this like chasing stats. Because there wasn't social media around, I think everyone with social media gets hooked on these stats and numbers. But because there wasn't that, it never even entered my head. I was literally just posting on my website, talking to myself. And it was about a year. And then after about a year, one person joined my website. And then another person joined my website. And by the end of the second year, I had 33,000 subscribers. And that happened, like, I was talking to myself for a year and then boom, it just took off. And I think this is what I need to do back with all my social media stuff. It might take off, it might not, but just go back to the having fun. So they're making the TikToks because I enjoy them, making the YouTube videos because I enjoy them. But if you have anything that's like numbers based, you might know what I mean. I can't control who subscribes to my channel. I can't control who watches my videos or my TikToks. I can't control who comments. What I can control is how much content I put out and how often. So this is one of my goals, is to, and I've already failed it because I was sick last week, but my goal is to put out 13 videos across the first quarter, because obviously there's 13 weeks. So that equates to one a week. But I've worded it that it's that I put 13 out across the quarter, because like last week, I was sick and I couldn't record anything. You would have got 20 minutes of me coughing and complaining that I felt unwell and sneezing and sniffing and blowing my nose, and it wouldn't have been very fun. So my goal is to make 13 videos in a quarter. So I know that somewhere along the lines in one of these weeks I'm probably going to make 2 videos, which is fine. My goal is with TikTok is to post 14 TikToks a week. So again, if I have a day off, I can just double them up. And so the goal really is just to be consistent with these posts and create these videos and have fun with them and enjoy the process. And I am not putting any numbers of things on me this year. So that is my goals for 2023. And you know, part of this, one of the things that I'm planning next year or this year. So one of the big things that I've learned from 2022 was November. November is chaotic for me, and to try and do any challenges in November is crazy, as we've seen, and we have NaNoWriMo. So one of the things I've also decided is that I know November is a busy month in our house. I also know December is a busy month in our house. So for November and December, and I know it's a long way off, but it'll be round before we know it, I am not going to focus on getting a specific book out and a specific book finished and kind of having a publishable book ready. What I'm going to use November and December for is absolutely fun writing. So not that writing is not fun, because I love writing, but literally on November 1st I'm going to sit down with no story idea in my head and just write for the sheer joy of it. No goals, no targets, doesn't matter if I finish my book, it doesn't matter. So I need to get back to the fun and the joy of my writing before it gets to a place where it's not fun and it's not joyful, and I would absolutely hate that. So yeah, this year I'm going to work really hard on just cultivating the joy. I've also set myself up a target to read 10 books in the quarter, which might not sound a lot, but I am very busy, and I often joke that, you'll have heard me say it a million times, that I quit the 9 to 5 so that I could work 24/7 for myself, and that is how it happens. So my goal is to read 10 books in the first quarter, and 10 books isn't a lot. It's less than one a week, but it feels achievable. to me, and it'll be 40 books by the end of the year. And it just gives me, see, this is what I've done with my planning. I've made my goals where they are achievable. So this is the big thing with me this year. I have looked back at everything and I have made my goals and tailored them so that they are easily achievable and something I can get to. And because I know what happens if I set goals and I don't reach them, I get demotivated. And the more demotivated I am and the more I'm not achieving, the less work I do, until I get myself into this real down, depressed place where it feels like everything's on top of me and I'm really overwhelmed. So the whole purpose of this is to go back and to cultivate the joy in my writing, in my work and everything else. And I know, like, some people might be worried about the financial side. Now, I am a full-time working author, so my income does rely on this. But if I just keep doing what I'm doing, the income comes in. And I also figure, say the income did drop, I could just go get a part-time job. It's another income stream. It's not the end of the world. I don't think it will. Touch wood, hopefully. But, you know, it's scary because it feels like I'm taking my eye off the financial ball, which I'm not, but I'm not focusing on it. And so as long as I am managing to still support myself, it doesn't matter. And I have goals this year also to actually get the courses out that I want to write, because they were big goals last year and I never got to them just because I was so focused all the time on getting more books out, more words out, earning more royalties. And so, yeah, sorry, it's a bit of a ramble. My videos always tend to be rambles, actually. So for 2023, my goals are to write 2,000 words every writing day that I have, write a short story a month, be present in my writers group and hopefully build that up. Again, I'm not bothered with numbers. I think there's like 2 people in it at the moment, literally because there's just me and a friend, and I haven't had time to promote it because I've not been well. So it's just to grow that, but not to worry about the numbers. Mostly it's just to have fun in there. If there's 5 people in there and we're talking all the time and writing and having a great time, that doesn't matter. It's better than having 500 people who don't talk to each other. So that's one of my goals, is to have that, run that. And my other one is to create content and be consistent with it. And I think they are all attainable. And I shall tell you in a year, next year, how I felt and what I achieved and where I got to. And hopefully this has helped me get out of this little bit of a mental rut that I've been in. Because I don't know if you watched my NaNoWriMo November 30-day writing challenge, you'll see that I was in a little bit of a rut with myself and my productivity, not the writing, just the whole thing. Because, you know, while being a working writer is the dream, it's really hard, it's fun, and I love it, but it is hard and it's difficult and it's full of self-doubt and feeling like an imposter and feeling like you can't do it. And you know, it's just battle, a good battle and a fun battle, and I love it and wouldn't change it. It's, you know, it's the best thing I did. But 2023 is going to be the year of looking after myself and cultivating joy in my work and my writing. So yeah, sorry for a little rambly video. How are you planning your 2023? What are your goals? And if your goals are number or financial goals, monetary goals, whatever, that's totally fine. It's do whatever works for you. And yeah, that's me. I've got my coffee. And I'm going to go and get some words down, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.